was the bracelet that did the magic. Just a thin silver chain with an appeal. But it got everything hurrying back. I'd known about Sophie for years, more than 10 years. And I'd been all right with it, or I believed I had. But then that bracelet prompted me of a day I hadn't thought of in ages. It was so bad. He had a day 11 birthday since I was 12. We began to get a lot of time. That laughable day when he brought us up into the Empire State Building, he wanted to take us in to show her the city. How absurd. Him, sure, but me too. What was the matter with me? You cannot forget that building living in New York. Thinking about it unleashed a crash of memories sour and bitter. Oh no! Having nothing much to do, I went through those old photo albums. I do not even know why. Proof. Answers. Punishment. Maybe all of it. He hadn't given me much at the time and still had a lot of questions on my head, but that was too late now. That conversation was years gone. Why in the world did he keep all those pictures? Sentimental or careless? None of them meant anything individually. Together, they had a tale to tell. Their story. And it crushed me all over again. A hand on a shoulder. A laugh shared just between them. In one, she is wearing his coat. It could have been anyone's coat, I told myself. But I knew better. There is one where they're leaning into each other, glowing in a way that made me sick. I don't know when I had last seen it. And then there it was. The bracelet. It's like she wore my bracelet. But when he gave me on our second anniversary. Asshole. Later, after we went to bed, but before he went to sleep, I brought it up. You know that bracelet you gave me, the silver one, with the charm? I whispered. He groaned, almost asleep, but not quite. That brought him awake. He turned his head to look at me, furrowing his brow. I did not say a word, just waited. Yes, he said finally with a sigh. He rolled onto his back, staring at the ceiling. I saw it in the drawer the other day. I had taken it out of my jewelry box and left it there, thinking it might start this conversation. I should have known better. He always avoids the hard things. But it hurts, I said. It wasn't enough, but it was all I could manage. I'm sorry, he said, wrapping an arm around me. I didn't expect that. In my head, he'd been defensive, angry even. But now, he was quiet, regretful. Regretful. Thought she didn't mean anything to you, I whispered. She didn't. And why'd you give her jewelry? He didn't answer, just kept staring up. It was the question I'd asked myself 1,000 times over the years. What was he thinking when he did it? When he kept doing it? When he let her into our lives and acted like it was nothing? What was he thinking when he kept those photos? When he lied to me every day for years? He gave me excuses. He was young, he said. It was complicated. We weren't even together, he claimed. All of it bullshit. We weren't together, I said, my voice sharp. Why'd you buy 2 bracelets? I don't know. You wouldn't have done that if you didn't have 2 girlfriends, I said. You just wouldn't. There had to be overlap. And if you didn't cheat, you wouldn't have kept it a secret. He didn't protest. He apologized again. And now I am wide awake at 3 a.m., Googling the name of Sophie. Her face, older but still familiar, pops up on Facebook. Wedding pictures from years ago. A LinkedIn profile saying she is now a therapist. Marriage counseling, of all things. Her email is there. I look at it for what feels like hours. I don't know where this goes or what happens next. But I need answers. And this time I'll get 'em.